Hi, my name is Jessica Randolph, and I am the Outdoor Leadership Specialist here at Girl Scouts Western Oklahoma. Over the next 30 or so minutes, I'm going to be talking about our camps, our camp guide, how to register for camp, and both of our camps, Camp Ikawa and Camp Cookieland, which I am the overall director of both. So, as you see here, we have our main page here, and at the beginning, you are going to see if you click on the over arrows. Camp life is the best life. Go ahead and click here, and that's going to take you to our camp page. Um, as you can see right up here at the top, if you register before April 30th, you get a $25 discount off your camp details. So keep going down. We have a little bit about our camps. Our registration is now open. So first thing I'm going to go ahead and click on is the 2016 camp guide. Okay, as you see, our camp guide has been pulled up, and this is going to go down with all of our activities. Um, Talks a little bit about preparing for camp. Are you ready? Who can go to camp? Which is a really good question. Anyone can go to camp, girls 6 years old to seniors in high school, and we take the grade they're going into in the fall. So if your daughter is in first grade, any camp that lists second grade, she can go to. Non-Girl Scouts can also attend camp. They just have to pay the $15 membership fee. So if you have school friends, cousins, siblings, even people from other councils can come to our camps. We had a couple info sessions here that just goes over that. How to register. So you're going to go ahead and go to our events page and pick a camp that you want to go to. And when you go ahead and start registering, all you need to do is put down your $25 deposit. Now, this $25 deposit holds your spot. I highly suggest even if you are waiting for cookie rewards, that you put that $25 deposit down. We already have camps that are full. Now, this page goes over kind of like, what if my plans change? Can I get a refund? Yes, you can get a refund up to 2 weeks prior to your camp date. Now, you will get you won't get the $25 deposit back, and you also won't get the discount back. So if your camp is $400, you are going to get $350 back. This also kind of goes about camp meals. We serve family style. We also cover lactose intolerant, gluten-free, vegetarian. Contact us if you have a strict vegan or kosher diet or other extreme diets. We may just have to talk some things over. We try and keep all the meals very similar to what all of the campers are eating. We also provide snacks multiple times a day, a salad bar, and a breakfast bar in addition to the meals that we are serving. Both of our camps have storm shelters, so it talks about if camp is ever closed because of weather. Camp Ikawa has an above ground tornado shelter, has AC, a bathroom. It's pretty nice. And then Camp Cookieland has 2 in-ground shelters as well for if we get any severe weather. So the next page on this camp guide goes over health requirements, bunk mates, and homesickness. So your daughter or any girl in your troop has to get physical. It has to be within the past year. So if you've already gotten one for sports or anything else, you just have to send that your form in and get it signed by your doctor. Now, it talks about bunk mates. When you're registering for camp, you'll see that you have up to 3 spots to register with another girl. So please just make sure that when you register, the other parent puts down your daughter's names and vice versa, so we know we can bunk them. Now, if you have a girl who signed up, let's say, for Be Brave, and then her friend is signed up for Little Mermaid, and even though they're happening at the same week, they will not be bunked together. We bunk by sessions. So, all of Be Braves together, all of Little Mermaids together. They may be in the same unit, but that's something that depends on our numbers and won't know until the week of. Homesickness is normal. It talks about calling camp. Unfortunately, we don't allow phone calls home to camp. Now, that doesn't mean if something's not happening, we won't call. You'll get a call from myself. We encourage mail. Mail goes out every day, and you as parents can even drop off mail the day of, whether your daughter's taking the bus or you're dropping her off at camp. You can drop off mail, and we will give it out every day. Talk about technology. Please don't send cell phones or Kindles or iPads or iPods or laptops or anything like that. Camp doesn't have very good service. We don't allow them. If any of those are found, I will hold on to them, and they will give them back at the end of their session. It also helps with their homesickness and adjusting to camp life, and we also don't cover if anything is damaged. Next, it talks about what if my camper loses something. We will hold the lost and found. It will be bagged up at the end of every session and will be brought back to our council office in Oklahoma City, and we will take that until Labor Day, and at that time it will be donated. Please, please, please put your initials or name on everything: shirts, hats, shoes, everything. Things we don't hold on to are toiletries, socks, underwear, but other than that, everything else we hold on to. So, talks about safety. How do we protect? Our staff go through 2 weeks of staff training. All of our staff are first aid and CPR certified. We also teach our staff on the bullying program with Girl Scouts BFF program. We, drink lots and lots of water, sunscreen, and we are also accredited by the American Camp Association. So then you're going to come down to your camp descriptions. Now this is going to be all of your descriptions. It's going to say, is it at resident camp or is it at day camp? If you have any, and it talks about weekend camps as well. So you'll see here family camp, that is a weekend camp. We've got STEMapalooza here, that's another weekend camp. And it'll just go over all of our weekend camp, all of our camp descriptions. Take a look at those and let us know if you have any further questions. So we get right into it. All of our weekend camps are at Camp Ikawa. So you see here we've got STEMapalooza Camp Samoa, which is open to our 1,300 box sellers. We have family camp, kindergarten and up. Now we've had a lot of questions on family camp. This is a hard age. Kindergarten up, just for the fact that under kindergarten, they're not going to be able to do our activities. Like I said, it's meant for kindergarten and up, and you can bring dad, brother, grandpa, uncle. Any adults have to be registered members and background checked, and any girl that's a non-Girl Scout has to become a Girl Scout, and if she's under 18 or if she's any age. And this price you see here, this $45, is $45 per person. Now, we did have a typo online. It says to rent a cabin. This price that you see here, $45 per person, includes your meals, your cabin, your activities, and everything for the weekend. We have Me and My Gal and Me and My Pal. This is any adult figure, female or male, that's over the age of 18. So it can be brother, grandma, sister, uncle, grandpa, and that, again, this fee is the $50 per person. All right, next up we have our day camp session. So these are all at Camp Cookie Land. We do have an option this year that for an extra $25 they can stay overnight on Thursday night. This is to help have those day campers get a feel of what it's like to spend the night at camp, what we do, and see if they're ready for resident camp for next year. We have 4 weeks this year. Princess Camp, Art Attack, STEMtastic, Superhero. Now, for those are just kind of the themes of the week. They're focused on those activities. We're going to do other things like archery and games and songs, but this is, again, the theme of that. Next up, we have our leadership camps at Camp Ikawa. Our leadership program is changing. It's more, we're going back to basics with them, and they are campers, and counselors in training. So they will get to enjoy activities as well as learning what it's like to be a counselor, what it's like to go through leadership programs. And eventually, next year, in addition to this, we'll have an internship program. So we want girls to learn what it's like to be, and CIT is counselor in training, and WIT is wrangler in training. And wrangler in training, it's girls of any skill level. So even if they're just beginner horse riders, but they want to be a wrangler counselor, they can go ahead and sign up for this. And we did have a typo. This June 19th, July 1st, that is 2 weeks. And July 10th, it's actually 10th through the 29th. So it's the last 3 weeks of camp. Oops. Sorry, I skipped down. So I'm going to go back down. So then we have leadership camps at Camp Cookie Land. So we have program aid training. That first one is the training. We will train them how to be program aides. They'll get their program aid while they're there. And then the next 2 weeks, these are for girls that already have their program aid already. And they'll go around with groups while they're at Cookie Land. So next, in pink, we have all of our resident camp sessions. So how you kind of read this is you have the date, the session, the age, and the fee. Now, something I want to point out we've had a lot of questions on is classic camp. Your classic camp experience is general. The girls are going to get to choose their own schedule and what to do. They will visit the horses, but they're not going to be riding every day like, say, a specific program saddle up or bits and bridles. And when you look over Classic Camp, I offer grades 2 through 12. It doesn't mean second graders are going to be put with seniors. We break them up by age. Instead of listing it 5 times, we just put it all under one. Next, you have Olaf's, Summer Adventure, CSI, Kicking It Like Katniss, Saddle Up, Level 1 and 2. When you see our Olaf and CSI and Harriet Potter camps, those are specific theme camps. So every day they're going to go over the theme of the camp. So, for, let's say, CSI, they may do finger printing one day. We might have a police officer come in. For Olaf's Summer Adventure, if you read up in descriptions, they're going to go on a Let It Glow night hike, different things like that. And then we have our horse camps. Now, again, all of the theme camps and the horse camps, they're going to get to do everything at camp. They just may only get to do it once, whereas our classic camp here may get to do archery 2 or 3 times, whereas Kicking It or Saddle Up will only get to do once. For our horse camps, see here we have Saddle Up Level 1, Saddle Up Level 2. Now, if you have 2 girls that are buddies and they want to both go to horse camp, but one's a beginner rider, one's an advanced, that's okay. They can still sign up and be together in a bunk. They'll just be broken up during riding time. They'll still, be in the same area together, and they'll be able to hang out and all that good stuff. So it just, sorry, I keep jumping around. So it kind of goes over, again, all of our programs. We run a couple of camps throughout the summer. Ponytails is a beginner riding one. This is like an intro to horses. Down here, if you look at July 5th through the 8th, we had a couple typos for Little Mermaid, Be Brave. This price over here, since it's a shorter camp, should only be $225, not $325. We apologize for that. Troop camp this year is different. It's longer. It's not a weekend. It's going to be right after 4th of July through that Friday. You're going to be able to do more, go and experience all of camp, so definitely take a look at that. We also have this new program called Camp Sampler. This is a one-day intro to camp. So if you are unsure if resident camp's for you, maybe you've never been to Camp Ikawa, you get to go through the day as a camper at our res camp. You do have to come with ratios either as your troop or with a registered adult. There is also an option to stay the night here at camp, so that's pretty fun. So again, you have all of our camps through the rest of the summer. If you have any specific questions about our camps, take a look at the page with all the descriptions, or give us a call here at Council and we can answer those questions. A couple of our things, our Harriet Potter camp for this week is for grades 6 through 8 is full, and our CIT 2 is full. But definitely give us a call even if you are still interested in that. So I'm going to go back to our camps and outdoors, back to our main page here. So as you can see, you have weekend camps, view and register for all of our stuff. Now, if I want to go ahead and register, let's say we'll do our week-long resident camps. This is going to pull up, and while it's pulling up, you're going to be able to see the number of slots that are left, and you're going to be able to click on register as long as there are spots. So if you go here, our classic camp, you go down here, you see that the capacity is 30, we have 4 registered, that's the remaining number of spots, and you click register. Just one thing again to keep in mind, you can make multiple payments on this, so it's going to give you the date, the time, the discount, how much it is per participant, and then our cancellation policy, and then you can click on register down at the bottom. Now, we've been getting a couple of calls. When you go ahead and register, you need to create a new user profile. So this is a completely new system. It doesn't link to any other of your other logins, so please create a new user profile. And this is good, unless you have registered for other events. If this is your first time registering this spring, you're going to create that new user profile. But you can make as a number of payments as you want. Just put the $25 deposit. You could do that today. And then you can make as many payments again. $50 here, $100 there if you're waiting for a credit for cookies, or if you're waiting for your cookie rewards card. You can do that as many times as you want. You just have to be fully paid 2 weeks prior to your camp session. So again, we have our day camps, travel camp. Now we did in our description, if you got the full printed out in the mail in our voices, we had a typo. The dates are correct. They are still going to Colorado. They're just stopping in New Mexico a little bit. But if you have the description that you see, if I click here, as you can see, changes in travel camp were made after the guide was printed. This is the correct description. The description that was printed in the guide is incorrect, so we do apologize about that. But definitely, you can go ahead and do that and register for that, and that is actually led through our outdoor committee. I'm sorry, start over. That is led through our HAT program. This talks about your financial options, what you need to do to hold your spot. We do have financial assistance. This needs to be completed by May 1st. Using your reward camps for camp sessions. You have your old reward cards are usable. Sorry, pause, start over. Your reward cards are good, the old ones, until the end of May, and the new ones should be out in May. This next talks about camp forms. Now, your camp forms, you're going to have a lot of these. You can upload them. You just click here, and it will take you straight where you can upload. So here are the forms you need. You have your camper health form, your release, get to know you, camper agreement. We have a couple more forms coming, but you can choose this file and upload them. We do need all of this information listed here, and then you don't have to bring the forms. You can also bring them, though, to checkout day. If you have any questions or need help with forms, definitely go ahead and contact us here at customer care, info@gswestok.org, or give us a call here. Camper care packages. We have multiple care packages. We're also going to have a camp store. Some of those items will be available at our store here in Oklahoma City, or they'll be available at Camp Ikawa. We'll be selling t-shirts, water bottles, postcards, hats, pens, backpacks, stuffed animals, all that good stuff. But you can pre-order a custom camper care package, and it will be delivered to your child during camp. So if we go down here, we have our packing list for day camp, res camp, and our weekend camps. We also have some really awesome camp hack videos. Shortly, we'll actually have our camp menu up here for Camp Ikawa, and then you have your camp properties. Now, I do want to go ahead and go through. I'm going to go up to our forms page here. So if you go all the way back up to the top, and up here in the the right hand side, and click on Forms, that is going to take you to our Forms page. Go ahead and go down to Options, click Camp, and search. And this is going to bring you up to more forms and stuff like that. So you have your resident camp confirmation packet, your camper release, agreement, health history, and I'm going to go ahead and go through these. So if you click on our resident camp confirmation, while this is downloading, we have one of these for our day camp and our weekend camp, and Camp Samoa will be mailed one as well. This information packet has everything from bus times to what's our address at camp, maps how to get to camp, our camper care packages. It also has your packing list and talks about actually something really cool at Camp Ikawa. It is our 50th birthday this year. So definitely go ahead and, again, don't hesitate to give us a call if you have questions. So each week we're going to have a 50th birthday party for Camp Ikawa for resident camp. So this talks about payments again. We've seen a lot about that. It talks about our forms, and these are all of our forms that need to be either uploaded prior to your child coming to camp or need to show up on day one. We cannot accept a child without their health history form, or actually any of these forms, especially this health history one needs to be signed by a doctor. Talks about our expectations, this also goes back to how to prepare your child for camp. Yes, our cabins at Camp Ikawa have fans and lights, but we don't have air conditioning. We're outside. Our dining hall has air conditioning. Our storm shelter, we have a couple buildings with air conditioning, but we are primarily outside. If they're working with horses at the lake, they're going to be outside. We do give them downtime so they can recuperate. But, it talks about, how we walk a lot, drink a lot of water. This is an awesome link here for healthy and active living at camp. Talks about the first day of camp and when to arrive and what to expect. On the first day of camp, when you're looking at your packing list, definitely make sure your child has their day pack ready with their swimsuit, towel, any medications you want to bring, we'll bring. And please, again, leave those electronics at home and any candy or snacks. Otherwise, we do have critters at camp and we don't want them eaten. Also goes over our camp activities, just a little bit of what we offer. Different. If you have any of these questions, give us a call. Talks about food service, and I briefly talked about this, but definitely, again, let us know if you have a strict diet, but just kind of the different things we can handle. We do have at both of our camps an on-site healthcare professional that will give out medications, and that's one of our big policies, is that all medications are turned into our healthcare professionals and are given out at times. Now, it doesn't mean inhalers or EpiPens. The child can carry those around with them every day. And if you have any over-the-counter medications, we do supply, you're going to see on our health history form, we do supply a number of those, but feel free to bring your own. Just remember, when you're bringing medications to camp, it has to be in their original bottle. We can't take any vitamin type of Monday through Sunday holders. They have to be in the original bottle, and it has to be prescribed to that camper. Or if it's vitamins, again, it has to be in that original bottle. But it talks about here what we need for those medications. Again, talks about homesickness and how to prepare your child. Have they gone to sleepovers before? Maybe you should try that before they go to camp. Again, talks about phone calls. Again, our staff are trained in homesickness. Our staff get homesick. It is normal. It's something that most children go through. Encourage them to bring, a book from home or stuffed animal or pictures. One thing we had a parent bring up during our first info night in person, the parents said to the rest of the parents, don't tell them, all the good things are happening at home. Just, ask them what are they excited about. Remind them, when you're going over your camps with your child, pick out a camp that they like to with them and start getting them excited. So if they're going to, let's say, a horse camp, ask them, are they excited, to learn how to trot, or are they excited for grooming? Get them excited, get them looking forward, that type of stuff. Also, for parents, I put child sickness. This is normal too. If you ever, want to send me an email or question at Summer at Camp, you can. We like I said, we take good care of your children. This come down here, you're gonna come to our mail and photos and stuff at camp. This year, we are posting the pictures the week after. The week after your session has ended. So after your daughter's session has ended, so say the last day is July 1st, that next week you will get a link to your child's session of camp, and you'll be able to view and download pictures there. Now, we will post some pictures, just not a ton because of our bandwidth. It talks about mail, has our address here, also talks about email if you want to send one of those. Children are more than welcome to bring a camera to camp, but it cannot be an iPhone camera or anything like that. It needs to be a regular camera. So we have, again, our camp store, our camp care packages. When you're registering, you're going to see would I like to add the camper care package. You're also going to see would I like to add the bus. Now, you can go back and choose these. They just have to be 2 weeks prior to your camp session. Also with our camp store, you can add money to your camper's session. So please don't bring money when you're coming to Camp Ikawa. It needs to be preloaded. You're going to see that when you register for camp. If your daughter is going to multiple sessions, if you want to, you can just add money once. We will have the store open on open and close day, and we can accept card during that. During open and close, we can also accept it on weekends. But during the session, when it's just girls at camp, we cannot accept cash, card, or check. It has to be preloaded. But again, you'll see it'll ask you if you would like to add that. Again, goes over our lost and found, our camp policies, pets, cell phones, talks about clothing. Talking about clothing, just remember you're at camp. The clothing needs to be appropriate. When riding, you have to wear pants. You can't wear tank tops. Just remember you're in the outdoors, and we have all ages at camp. Keens or other sports sandals with a covered toe and backstrap can be worn. Flip-flops or sandals can only be worn at the pool, lake, or the showers. Other than that, please bring a tennis shoe or a hiking boot. If you're a horse rider, we encourage Western riding boots. If not, a shoe with a 1-inch heel on that. No dress boots can be worn when riding either. Talks about personal equipment, vehicles, all that good stuff. So go ahead and take a look over that. And both this and our other packets are pretty similar. Oops, sorry, getting ahead of ourselves. So we talk about bus transportation. It is $50 round trip, so that's $25 one way to camp. This again is due 2 weeks prior to camp session, and it has our check-in time. So check-in time will begin at 11 a.m. and it will leave at 12:15. Please have your daughter pack a lunch when coming on the bus. We will not be providing it. The bus is actually, this is a typo, we'll be leaving at 12:30, not 1:30, and parent drop-off at camp is between 2 and 4. Your return here for bus is between 2:30 and 3:30 p.m., or you can pick them up at camp between 1 and 2 p.m. When you're filling out your forms, you will see a camper release form. When that release form, that is needed for when you pick your child up from camp. We ask that you do not bring pets when you're checking in or checking out your daughter. We cannot have those on site. if you want to volunteer to be a bus chaperone, you can definitely volunteer and get your daughter's transportation fee free, and that is for both day camp and res camp. Speaking of volunteering, you can definitely volunteer at our res camp or our day camp. So volunteering, what that kind of looks like, you have to put down the $25 deposit for your daughter's session, but if you volunteer, you get the rest of your daughter's session for free. So say you're signing up for Be Brave for a full week, it's $325. You pay the $25, and in exchange for you volunteering at camp, we take care of the remaining balance. Now, when volunteering, you will not be placed in the same unit as your child when attending resident camp. Some of the areas that we need help in is the kitchen, taking photos. If you're a lifeguard, we'd love your help at lifeguarding. If you have experience working with horses, if you're a nurse, you'd be in the infirmary. Now, that doesn't mean you won't see your daughter. You're going to still see them at meals and stuff like that, but you will not be placed with them. This is to help both you and your child to hopefully one day they can go to camp without you, and to adjust and to be like every other girl that's at camp. Not everyone brings their parent to volunteer. So again, you won't be that counselor with that group. So keep that in mind with volunteering. If you've decided that yes, volunteering is for you, what I need from you is, again, put your $25 deposit down. You need to have a current background check and you need to be a current member. Please email us at info@gswestok.org, and in that I need the parent name, the child name, the session, and the date of that session, because some of our sessions run twice, and that you're okay with volunteering. If you're a nurse, please put that down. Again, if you have any specific experience, we take, again, if you've had any experience or none at all, we are just happy to have you help. So here it goes over the packing list, kind of all the items that you need. Bring bedding, that's a sleeping bag, blanket, sheets, or pillow. Again, goes over the shirt, or the shoes, that we need hats, bandanas, a mess kit. Now this, you don't have to buy a pre-made mess kit. You can just bring a cup, plate, bowl, and silverware from home with a dunk bag. A dunk bag is a clear zip bag that has holes in it because we do wash those items and then hang them up so they dry. Talks about bring a water bottle, bring 2, flashlight with extra batteries, sunscreen. We will have extra sunscreen, but it's good to bring your own as well. Swimsuit. I suggest bringing multiple towels, one for swimming, one for showering, and then a small day pack to hold all of your items. That can be a string bag, it can be a backpack, just so that they can hold all their different swimsuits and things like that in it. Talks about what to pack. For riding, you do need to have long pants and jeans. We also have, for our older girls, we have a zip line. You need to either wear long pants for that or capris for that one. It just needs to go over the knee, or long shorts, and that can be yoga pants, sweats, capris, like I previously mentioned. Shorts, shirts, underwear, socks, pajamas, tennis shoes, water shoes, hat or visor, waterproof poncho, rain jacket. Also talks about packing separate for the shower, camp, and this is again for Camp Kekawa, and toiletry items. Please bring those. We do have some extras, not a ton. If your daughter loses her toothbrush, we can set her up. Talks about, going ahead. Stop, start over. This last page here talks about optional items, camera film, postcard stamps, book or magazine goggles, lanterns, stuffed animals, sunglasses, something to tie-dye. We will be selling a shirt that girls can purchase to tie-dye. It's going to be a white-on-white shirt. It's pretty awesome. I'm really excited about it. But you can also bring bandanas, t-shirts, socks. We don't no really big items like sweatshirts or sweatpants. Pillowcases are another good one. And then it talks about items to please leave at home. Again, electronics, gum, candy, jewelry, again, things can be misplaced, and then it says what to have in hand when you come to camp on the first day. The last couple of pages, if you keep going down, is a map to camp, directions to camp, and a map of camp. So that's our resident camp pack. Our day camp and our weekend pack is very similar. Um, I'm going to go ahead and go back to more of our forms here. Next up, we have our camper release. So while it's loading here, just going to get rid of some of these. So this talks about camper release, photo IDs, what we need from you. We cannot release your camper to you, parent included, unless you have a photo ID. So we need all of this stuff. Now I know it asks for more than just, your name. It asks for multiple, 3 other names besides yourself of who could pick up your child from camp. Please put down all of these blanks. We need these filled. If there's a girl going to camp from your troop, and you can put their parent down, you can put grandparents down, it just has to be an adult that can pick up with a current photo ID. Again, things happen, and we just want to cover all our bases. So that is the release. We have the camper get to know you form. This is a really great form for our counselors, and it gets given out. It has a parent portion, and then down below it has a camper portion. So please, write to your counselors, let them know, have the child write to the counselor. Again, fill in these forms. We give them to the counselor. It helps, has anything happened in the past year? Do they make friends easily? Are they afraid of, the dark or anything like that? Bugs, spiders, all of that stuff. So this is a really good form. Please remember to fill that one out. Next, we have our camper agreement form. Now, previously we went over our policies, but our camper agreement form just talks about, respecting other campers, listening to our, rules on no technology. It talks about bullying, and this needs to be signed by both the parent and the camper. If you have any questions about this, do give me a call. All right, so we again have the camper health history. Now, if you have an old camper health history form from last summer, please throw that out. This is a new one. It talks about, we need everything. It goes over the physical form. We need a list of their immunizations. It also, I previously mentioned, it goes over the medications that we offer. Talks about meds, what times are they given, but on page 2 here, it talks about a bunch of the medications that we will have at camp, as you can see here, and just go ahead and answer that to the best of your ability. And if you have any questions, give us a call. But that needs to be filled out completely when you arrive at camp. Down here, so health history, and then we also have the weekend camp confirmation packet. This is very similar to our resident camp confirmation packet. And then we have the day camp confirmation, which is similar with, less packing, same type of policies, different drop-off times and pickup times. But if you have questions when you're going through this, it's a lot shorter. It has a map as well. Let's see here. Keep going down. We need forms for all of the camps. Now, again, goes over payments, forms. Day camp, they need the same forms as resident camp. Talks kind of about what we have at both of our camps. Campers for day camp need to have, food. They need to bring a lunch. We will provide snacks. We also do a cookout session. We'll let you know when that is. But we ask that they bring a lunch. We have fridges and coolers to put them in, and we will give them out so that they can be kept cool. Healthcare is the same at day camp as well as at Ikawa. Medication policy is the same as well. Please remember that. So is lost and found in our camp policies. The difference here with our day camp is our transportation and check-in. So if your child is taking the bus to camp, please arrive. If you're driving to camp, arrive at Camp Cookie Land between 8:45 and 9 a.m. and pick up your child at 4:30. Now, if you are dropping off at the bus, um, you need to arrive here. You can arrive at as early as 7:30 a.m. It's between 7. We will be leaving at 8:30 a.m. to get to camp by 9, and we will be leaving at excuse me, 4:30, and you can pick up your child at 5:30. And it just talks about bus rules, talks about packing lists. They need to bring a day pack every day with the following stuff: change of clothes in case of accidents, or we play water games. It's also good to have a spare set of clothes there. Camper care packages are the same here, but Camp Cookie Land is not going to have their own store. That can be purchased here at Council for different types of items. And then it has our map on the last page, so that is just the day camp one. If you have any questions, or it's a map of our day camp. So those are kind of all your forms for camp. Again, these can be uploaded or brought on the first day of camp. I'm going to go ahead and go back to our main page. And while that's loading, just, again, a couple of things to remember is you just need that $25 deposit to reserve your daughter's spot. I encourage all of you to fill that out. To put that deposit down as soon as possible to reserve your spot, because spaces are going quickly. Again, this is really important. You can click on any of these to register for your specific camp. You can also view all of our camps by calendar. Again, all of your financial information here, assistance, reward cards, forms. Again, that's all on this main page. These videos are really great too, just to give you an idea of summer camp. I look forward to having you all at camp. If you have any questions at all, please email us at info@gswestok.org, and we can go over those, or give us a call here. And I hope to have you all at camp. Thank you all for tuning in, and have a good one.